It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. We've got the Arnold Classic 2023. We also have Rep Fitness releasing brand new equipment in droves, along with a few other home gym manufacturers. And we have John Bones Jones trying to claim the UFC Heavyweight Championship. The No Fate channel, checking in. Jonathan here with yet another Home Gym Week in Review. And the biggest name of the game this week is the Arnold Classic, going down today, now in Ohio. And it is not only a massive bodybuilding show, tons of strongman competitions, but it's the place where home gym manufacturers unleash all of their newest stuff that they hope to release this year. Speaking of announcements, Rep Fitness equipment having not one, but 3 brand new drops this week. When I was on the Garage Gym Experiment podcast, I told them Rep Fitness was going to be having the biggest year across all the home gym manufacturers. Nobody listened to me, and they all claimed that Rep Fitness's 2022 was just too big, too grandiose to be duplicated. And I just politely explained that when you have the method and procedures in place, not only for new equipment innovation, but for upgrading existing equipment, it is much easier to lead from the front. Rep Fitness has now unleashed 1,000 series safeties, the AB 5200 2.0 and the BlackWing. And I want to dive into these safeties now. I know a lot of people don't think much about safeties, but what's good about this example is the fact that they have been making them not only for the 4000 and the 5000, which are Rep Fitness's premier flagship power racks, but it's nice to see they haven't forgot about their 1000 series. Now, the AB 5200 was unleashed and is now ready for pre-order. And while the price tag is high, coming in at $579, it is warranted with a lot of the upgrades that they delivered. I think a lot of people are going to have trouble deciding which color combination to go with. I'm really leaning towards the red and the white, and I'm thinking that I can actually, kind of when the warmer weather hits, spray paint this piece so that we get white, white, and white across that red frame to have it really pop. One thing I would probably steer clear of when it comes to the 5200 2.0 is the fixed post. While that does save you $30, it eliminates the decline option, which is a new feature on the 5200 and something that will be nice to have and nice to use. And at only $30 extra, you're probably going to want to spend that money.
Pay that man his money.
Time out. I need to give you all a massive thank you for using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. And when you use those links, they support the channel. They help me create more content, and all the proceeds go right back into the channel. And I like to do some big thank yous. So when you use those links, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. Rep Fitness could have released just one bench and we would have been like kids in a candy factory. We would have been so content. But they went and dropped the second bench, the BlackWing. I happen to always think of Nightwing from the DC Comics, but it is in fact the BlackWing. Now, Rep Fitness is just showing how you do it because they're taking pre-existing equipment and they're taking the criticism and complaints from pre-existing equipment and simply upgrading. So this was their old ZeroGap bench, and they have absolutely upgraded it, given it a new name, $600 price tag with a lot of new features. Now, it comes in their colors, and they have been expanding their basic colors to include this army green and the white. I have used their white before in my AB 4100. It is a fantastic color. And this thing has just got a whole host of new options with this leg attachment, allowing you to do really extensive decline sit-ups, or you can do hamstring Nordic curls. Listen, this thing it looks like they have fixed a lot of the problems. They made the adjustment on the bench, both in the front angle pad as well as that ZeroGap feature, a lot easier and a lot smoother. Like most benches that are coming out these days, the BlackWing has the ability to store vertically, and they added this little feature, which is an upgraded version to a lot of their vertical storage of past yesteryears. And they also fixed the stability on the front of that Zero bench. Not only did they add this wide piece and a beautifully fully knurled handle, but underneath here is all rubber. In the past, the grip form on here might have only had like 2 to 3 little rubber pads. Now the entire thing is coated for great grip on the floor and to keep the metal off the floor and prevent it from absorbing moisture unnecessarily. Here is a quick look at the specs on this absolute tank, coming in at 131 pounds and almost 60 inches long. Absolutely an improvement on their previous version, and absolutely something you might want to consider if in fact you hate having that gap. I want to know from you. Comment down below. Do you mind the gap on your adjustable benches? For me, not something I ever seem to take notice of, especially when I've got like the 5200 and I've got that long pad. I almost never even feel that gap because my keister is further back on the bench altogether. Rep Fitness now has a very deep lineup on their adjustable benches. It is really choose your own adventure so that you can find the best one that suits your needs and price point. I will tell you that I think the biggest problem with these new releases is the price tag. Not that they are priced unfairly, but that if you already have an existing bench that you like, that's working, that's just getting the job done, it's very hard to drop $550 to $600 in order to just get a replacement for something that isn't downright broken. It's very much like your phone. If you've got an iPhone 11, you don't necessarily need the 12 or the 13. And unlike phones, which tend to die after 2.5 years, this is not something that will go bad. And we have the MMA UFC Heavyweight Championship of the World on the line. And usually these are extremely exciting fights. Unfortunately, not this time. We have Francis Ngannou, who was the reigning heavyweight champion. He bowed out. He simply just took his ball and went home, went to go look for greener pastures, and told the UFC, have a nice day. That leaves Ciryl Gane, who's now 1-1 in his last 2 fights, and John Boney Jones. This dude hasn't fought in 2.5 years, and he's fighting in a weight division above what he is normally fighting at. Now, the dude looks massive, and the question that I have, and I think that's the real question of this fight, is will that extra weight translate into power? And if so, how much speed and stamina he's going to lose? Clearly, he was known for having not only stamina, but tons of speed and explosiveness. It'll be interesting to see, as we've often seen people go up in weight, not doing all that well because the extra weight isn't all muscle. Some of it is fat, and it does tax the heart and tax the cardiovascular system. At the end of the day, I'm still not betting against Bones Jones because that dude could probably sleep on his head for a year and still come up and beat everyone else in the UFC. Titan Fitness doesn't want to be outdone. While they do seem to be asleep at the wheel currently here in March, they did release a 3rd upgraded version to their lat tower. This is version 3, and as we've seen with Titan Fitness, usually their version 1 is pretty bad, and by version 3, they've really ironed out a lot of the kinks. So this is another lat tower that is beloved. A lot of reason people loved their previous version was the price point. It has gone up in years, and this one is coming in at $2,000. So a few key features, and some of these are improvements. They do have now an aluminum pulley. They did anodized red aluminum, which is going to be a bit of a standout to their previous version. And they've got the ability to add band pegs, which I really like. I never thought I would like using bands with regards to like a pull down or even a row, but it feels fantastic, and it is a different type of resistance that really kind of taxes the system. Now, at $1,900, it seems fantastic for a price, and obviously that is much higher than the previous versions initially came out as, but with Titan Fitness and many other companies being forced to raise those price points, it is something you're just going to have to live with. LeBron James, the NBA player, is now down and out with a foot injury for an undisclosed amount of time. It will be interesting to see the tail end of his career, how it shakes out. Obviously, when you're one of the best, people are always looking to see how much you backslide as you get older and as you face the injury bug. Clearly, with Tom Brady just retiring, because he had a quarterback position, it did not seem like he backslid very much. He wasn't the same as when he was in his prime, but clearly he was still in contention for Super Bowls, and he still was able to grab some records on his way out. Lots of individuals and companies are making their way to the Arnold. We've got Rep Fitness with their specifically dropped Arnold Sports Festival t-shirt. Then they teased this, a whole bunch of barbells. Rep Fitness has not released new barbells in quite some time. They've been really focused on the specialty bars, and it's nice to see that they've got not one or two, but it looks like 5 new barbells. I mean, is it 6 new barbells that they 7 new barbells that they are going to be releasing this year. Bells of Steel also releasing brand new equipment. Hey, we've got a cornucopia of equipment releases this week, and these are stackable pull blocks that do come in pairs for $80. And what's nice about this, even if it's not something you might actually use, it's good to see companies putting out new equipment. It is good for the community. It's good for competition. So the biggest question that I have, at least on these, and something I probably wouldn't know the answer to unless I got them in-house, is how much noise dampening will they offer? At 1.4 inches thick, I'm imagining that they're going to be pretty good. Not the same as a crash pad would be, but it would be interesting to see if this will help reduce some significant noise for those of you that tend to drop your weights. If you made it this far in the video, you and I are officially like B.A. Baracus and Hannibal. We are Johnny Bones Jones and the USADA Testing Commission. Hey, we are like Tiger Woods and ex-wives. We're best friends. Thanks for watching, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.